Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 257, Good Explicit Peer Pressure and Sober Retreats for 2024. Well, hello. How are you all? Oh my gosh, I am back from Cancun and I am still thinking about that retreat. Wow. It was so inspiring for me to witness these women show up at an all-inclusive adults-only resort where there's alcohol at literally every place you go. Everybody's offering it to you. It's all around you whenever you want it. And they had no issues with saying no. We learned how to say no in all the different ways. I was kind of a mama bear at times about no, we don't drink. No, it's just a really hard thing for especially the staff to wrap their head around, because if it's an all-inclusive, they're used to people just really taking advantage of that benefit of drinking all the time. We had scheduled tours, and in the tour bus, at the end of it, I was like, they're probably going to have beer in that cooler, instead of water or whatever. And I asked, I go, do you have water? And he said, yeah. And I said, how much? He goes, 2 cerveza and 1 water per person. I'm like, no cerveza. We need 3 waters per person, and I just got really good at right up front addressing it and getting over it. And they got to witness me doing that because, I'm over 5 years now of not drinking. And so it's no issue for me to just be assertive and, have my boundaries around it and share exactly what we're doing here. So, and then they got their own opportunities to say no. We did a little field trip. I called it a field trip to the swim up bar. And we all slowly navigated the pool scene and observed people drinking. I asked them to notice what you're thinking, watching people drinking. What are your thoughts about seeing people drinking? What are you noticing about people drinking? And then go up to the swim up bar and order a non-alcoholic beverage. And we all did that together. It was really interesting what the observations were. And it was not difficult for any of them to do that because they had the support of me being there and of 2 months prior to going on the sober retreat of private coaching and group coaching and digging in deeper to their alcohol identities and working on their urges and working on saying no and all of that stuff, a lot of practice before coming to that retreat. So that definitely contributed to a very successful retreat, even more expansive thinking around the limited view that a lot of you have with alcohol in your life and what you think and how you think it makes it better, or you can't imagine not doing it. Their minds were blown open doing this experience. And so all of them were successful in not drinking. Some of them had already decided to not drink, be done with alcohol at all. And then everybody else was at least a 90% reduction in how much they're drinking by doing this experience and working with me. So I cannot talk about this enough. I am so fueled to help even more women in 2024 experience this and have real life, real time experience with me navigating travel and social situations and difficult situations and holidays, and having this hands-on personal support from me so that they can feel empowered and go into any situation in their life and consciously choose not to drink and know in their bones that they can still have fun. So I am announcing my 3 sober retreats that I am doing for 2024. Are you ready? Okay, because you're going to want to save these dates. The first sober retreat is going to actually be in my area in North Carolina. And it's a 3-month coaching container. So you get 3 months of support, 2 months before, then you have the retreat, and then you have support after the retreat. So you get private calls with me and group coaching calls. We will have websites and everything set up with all of the details on it. But the important dates are that 3-month container to get that high touch support with me and the other retreaters is February through April of 2024. The retreat dates where you would come to North Carolina and spend 5 days with me and the retreaters are April 15th through 19th. We've got a beautiful home out in the woods reserved, and we're going to do some fun nature retreat therapy type activities, and all of that will be revealed soon. So there's only 6 available rooms for that sober nature retreat and coaching in North Carolina. The container starts February, ends at the end of April, and the retreat dates are April 15th through the 19th. The next sober retreat and coaching package I am offering is in the Pacific Northwest. I'm so excited about this one. I used to live in Seattle and I know this area very, very well. That 3-month container and coaching and retreat packages go from May through July, end of July 2024. So starting May 1st through the end of July 2024. The retreat dates are in the Seattle area. It is July 29th through August 2nd. We are staying in a very comfy, cozy log cabin surrounded by beautiful pine trees. We're going to do some serious hiking. This is going to be a much more active trip. Our big hike on this one is going to be about 8 miles. It will be moderate to strenuous, so you'll definitely want to be trained up for that. I provide all of the food, all of the excursions. There's going to be a trip to my favorite spa in the Seattle area, private coaching opportunities with me there, and other fun things in the Seattle area. Again, the 3-month container for that retreat and the coaching is starting May 1st, and it ends at the end of July. The retreat dates are July 29th through August 2nd in the Seattle area. And then the final retreat for 2024 is going to be a repeat of the Sober Cancun Luxury Beach Retreat and Coaching. And that will be back in Cancun. The 3-month coaching package that includes is October through the end of December 2024. The retreat dates for the Cancun part of the retreat is December 2nd through December 6th. That includes your own private oceanfront hotel room and all of the things. This is the high-end luxury retreat that I'm doing, and I cannot wait to take an amazing group of women back to the same location that I just came back from to experience even more fun, pleasure, adventure, and expansiveness. So if you're interested in those, please email me, hello@angelamascenik.com, and let me know which retreat or multiple retreats and coaching that you would be interested in, and we will get you over all of the details. We don't have an active website for this setup yet. I am seeking interest now, and I'm guessing that I won't need to create a website, that it'll go pretty fast. There's only 7 spots available per retreat. I'm interested in diving in and working with women on a deeper level. I loved the container in which everybody came together in Cancun. I worked with each of them individually through private coaching calls, and they have unlimited access to me through Marco Polo. So we were able to work through a lot of things so that they felt confident coming into Cancun, and so that they could experience the absolute most fun and possibility and relaxation, instead of, drink all the way up, and then they're just there and they're not drinking and they're kind of miserable, right? That's not what we're doing here. This is a 3-month container where we're going to get you set up for success, and so that you can feel confident coming on that retreat, traveling through airports the day before, the day after, navigating, obstacles that you may not, be prepared for, all sober, so that you can come and be fully present and feel good on these retreats and have the best opportunity that you could give yourself. So I love the private coaching aspect of this. This is our dedicated time where you show up, you have ultimate accountability, and I help you work through all the things. So that's what each of the retreat coaching packages includes. It includes private coaching with me. You get group coaching, so you get to know the other members of the retreat as well, so that when you meet in person, it's not like you're meeting a bunch of strangers. And it's a very high touch, intimate opportunity. So I want to invite you all, if you ever thought about coming with me in person, this is it for 2024. There's 3 opportunities. They will all equally be amazing. Highly recommend all of them. I've done multiple retreats in my local area. I used to live in Seattle, and I know that area very well too, and have lots of resources. And then, of course, the one that I just came back from in Cancun will definitely be repeating next year. So let me know if you're interested in that. Hello at Angela Mascenik, or you can DM me on my socials at Coach with Angela Mascenik. And I cannot wait to see who says yes to these opportunities. Okay. The other thing I wanted to follow up on was last week's podcast episode where I talked about implicit and explicit peer pressure. And I've gotten some questions about that since that podcast came out, and I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up on this week's podcast. And I wanted to talk about the good parts of implicit and explicit peer pressure. Okay, so just by using this Cancun retreat opportunity that I hosted all of my clients with last week, there was good explicit and implicit peer pressure. So the expectation set up front for this trip was that it was sober. You were not to drink, the day before, the day of travel, on your way home, traveling, or the day after you get home. Like that was very clear, set up ahead of time. And then while we're there, we're surrounded by alcohol, and there were lots of implicit pressure, right? Like looking around, people are thinking, maybe it'd be better if I drink. We witnessed more other people having peer pressure versus our own. There wasn't honestly a lot of, I wish I could drink right now from my clients, because it was, set up that way. They agreed to it beforehand. They worked through a lot of stuff before. So I wouldn't say that it was necessarily 100% easy, but it wasn't as intense as you might have imagined if you just go there kind of blind and not well practiced like my clients were. So in terms of the explicit good peer pressure for this situation, we're talking about alcohol a lot, right? We're reflecting on our past experiences. We're observing other people drinking, sharing stories, all of that. And so that energy in those discussions and dialogues and deeper coaching, that implicitly says this isn't an area in which you should be drinking, right? We already agreed to it. So that was an explicit pressure. It's like there's no drinking allowed, right? Direct communication on that. And then even if we're not in that moment saying there's no drinking, it's implied because we're having these kinds of conversations. Everybody around us in the group that we're in are ordering mocktails and non-alcoholic drinks, talking about health, all of that kind of stuff. So that's a good way to experience peer pressure, right? Peer pressure is also a good thing to experience. So like when you put yourself into a container or a coaching program or a class, or you're learning how to do something, all of those people together are collectively sort of there for the same mission, right? And so the implicit or explicit peer pressure that you might experience in a container like that, for me, my container is to stop over drinking. That's a positive pressure, right? So you don't want to let people down that you're around. You don't want to be the one that's like, hey, I'm having a drink while all the rest of you are not, right? Like, so you would tend to use that pressure for good. Does that make sense? So for example, I was just talking about this with a colleague today was, everybody knows what AA is, right? So say you meet a bunch of people at AA, and that's sort of implicitly like nobody's drinking, right? You're in AA, you're not supposed to be drinking. And say you make friends with these people, and then you all go out, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody in that group orders a drink, and you're like, oh, what's like, it's confusing. It might be like, what's going on, right? So that would be very unusual. And they probably had their own internal dialogues and thoughts or pressures they put on themselves, but it would be unusual to do that, right? You would notice that big time, and you would probably feel uncomfortable being the only one drinking in that situation, right? Especially if you're in that group intentionally trying to cut back on how much you're drinking or have committed to being sober or whatever. So in that way, it's a good thing because it might prevent you from making a kind of a silly in the moment decision that you really don't want to do, right? Whereas it can be the negative side of that pressure could be when you're the only one and you go into a group or scenario where everybody else around you is drinking. You have that implicit pressure and potentially the explicit pressure. People are like, come on, just have a drink, right? You have to work hard to say no in that situation. That might be uncomfortable for you. For me, it's not because, again, I'm 5 years down the line. But for new people coming in, that can feel difficult. So I just wanted to explore with you that there's good peer pressures, right? There's good implicit pressure. And that's why I think if you are working on this, that it's important to surround yourself with women or people who are also working on this so that you can ride on the group think, the group mentality of we're all doing this together, and for you to kind of feel that discomfort of being an odd man out if you decide to drink or if you decide to, kind of go off on your own. Like you're going to feel that a little bit, and that's a good thing, right? So just like people join fitness groups or running groups or yoga, like you go in there and you might, in a fitness class, for me, it's like I took a yoga class last night in a studio. I left my house at 5:30. It was already dark. Isn't that shocking? For those of you that know me well, it's like I put my pajamas on after dinner at like 5:30, make my tea for the night. Like I'm not going anywhere, but it's winter. I needed to go out and stretch, and I signed up for a yin yoga class last night. So I went there, and it's like, I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to push myself a little bit more because I'm in that group of people, right? So I'm like, I'm showing up. I paid for this class, and I'm going to push myself a little bit further. Same thing with my personal trainer. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to probably lift a little bit more heavy weights and like do a couple extra reps because I'm there, right? That's that implicit pressure. Like there's somebody observing me. I'm doing this. I'm going to work a little bit harder. That's a good thing. Okay. And if you have goals to cut back on your drinking or to lose weight or to lift heavier weights or to get more fit, it's good to put yourself in the room with other people who have similar goals because you are more likely to be successful because of that energy, because of that implicit pressure that you might feel and think because of the people that are around you. So that's why I think you should come on my sober retreats with me. That's why you should join my Alive AF membership. By the way, if you do decide to come on a sober retreat with me and do the 3-month high touch coaching package, you get access to Alive AF that's included in what you pay. So I'm happy to have a call with you if you're interested in that. Just again, send me a note, hello@Angela Mascenik. Let me know which retreat or all if you're interested in. And it will be a first come, first serve type opportunity because of the limited availability here. And because the first retreat coaching package, we're kicking off February 1st. And for people who sign up now, like in the next couple of weeks, I'm throwing in the month of January for support. So you don't want to miss out on that opportunity as well. You don't have to wait till February 1 to start. You can start right away if you sign up now for that first retreat. All right, my friends, I love you. I believe in you. I am here for you, and I can't wait to help you transform your relationship with alcohol, whatever that might look like, whether you want to take a break or just cut back. I'm here to help you decide what is best for you. And 2024 is just going to be one of the best years yet. So I'm super excited about what's to come, and I believe in you. All right, we'll talk to you next week. Bye. I want you to check out angelamascenik.com/AliveAF. You know what it's like to have a desire to cut back on your drinking, right? You start to read books, listen to podcasts, try things, but you might not be able to yet put all the pieces and suggestions together in a way that actually makes sense and works for you. You might struggle with beating yourself up after an overdrink. You might get frustrated with yourself when you take 2 steps forward and then another 2 steps back, and get overwhelmed with what's right and wrong about your relationship with alcohol. Your friends tell you that you should be able to have just one drink, and it isn't a big deal. You might be white-knuckling through urges and resisting instead of peacefully processing them. And you might struggle with your identity as someone who has enjoyed having a lot of wine or alcohol in your life. It's around you all of the time. It's what you do and who you are. Well, after 5 years of successfully coaching hundreds of women through these struggles, I have created the Alive AF membership, where women like you can learn the basics on what it takes to cut back and reach your goals with alcohol, whether it is to just drink less or totally quit. And when you join, you will get the exact framework I used to change my own relationship with alcohol and still use today, that has led me to be alcohol-free for over 5 years. You're going to get access to my resources, videos, and worksheets that have been proven to change and reduce how much you drink. Every day you can ask questions, share your obstacles, and get coaching and direct support on the challenges you will face with love and no judgment. Also, you will get immediate access to workshops like uncovering your alcohol identity and changing it, how to say no to things that don't support your new identity or life or goals, aka boundaries. A workshop called Creating Emotional Agency, and another one, How to Manage Your Mind to Succeed at Your Goals, and more. Every month we have a brand new workshop. These workshops are filled with step-by-step prompts and instruction to help you create the exact relationship with alcohol that is best for you. My mission and vision for Alive AF is to be a hub of support and resources for women to come and learn how to do what is best for them and becoming more alive in the process. When you join, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself better, how to feel good and become more alive and go after the life that you really want. I want this membership to be affordable and an easy solution where you can get all the help you need in one simple place whenever you need it. So, no need to go read another book, find a new podcast, attend a free webinar, or go down the path of piecemealing it all together. Join Alive AF and have it all there in one place for you anytime you need it. So, go to angelamascenik.com/AliveAF, and enrollment is open right now. See you inside.